Welcome to the show, everyone. As you all know, I love to talk about everybody else but me on my show. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We're going to share the show later on. My first guest, first of all, I'm so happy to have her on with me, as well as she's one of my sponsors. So I want to say thank you. I have Susan Tanko, and she is the president, and she's also the designated broker of WCI Business Sales. Welcome back to the show. You have been on quite a few times, and I want you to tell everybody first a little bit about you and WCI, and they've just recently changed their name, so I want you to talk a little bit about that and what we're going to talk about today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Carol. It's always fun to come in and see everybody. You guys are so professional here. Thank you. So a couple of things. I probably should have told you this. We have a new designated broker. I am no longer the designated broker. I put Shelly Stryker in my position as designated broker. She's also a transaction coordinator and has been doing that for about 6 months now as the DD. So I was able to step away from that and go back into getting more listings on my own. I'm having a lot more fun being in the trenches again. Before I was much more tied to the office. So thank you, Shelly. I hope she's listening.
What I love about you is how passionate you are about what you do. And go ahead.
I am.
Yeah.
I love what I do. Like I was telling you, I wrote 2 contracts this week. I'm really jazzed.
So isn't
yeah,
that
in a
neat?
good place, people. And then I also wanted to mention that our office, we did move over to the Biltmore Center last September. We are in Arizona's ranked businesses. We were 3rd last year, hoping for 1st this year. We'll see where that lands.
Congratulations.
Yes. In brokers. That moves around a lot and it goes by vote, so I might have to get out there and rally a little bit.
I'm in, I'll vote.
Also, I wanted to thank some people that work at our office. Amy Newman has been there 25 years. And she's been through the trenches with my father when he owned it, stepped up when Dennis and I owned it, again when Vinny came on board. If there's one girl that can handle that office when everyone else is gone, Amy is our girl.
Wow.
Her daughter, Victoria, also works for us part-time. Like I said, we have Shelly as our transaction coordinator. Tricia, I've mentioned before, she is Vinny's assistant. And Katie is Dennis's assistant. And last but not least, my assistant, Sandy Hendrickson, has been with me 24 years, I believe.
What does that tell you? That they love working there? Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, you don't stay that long just because it's fun. Come on, not
Yeah.
because it's not fun.
Yeah, so we have fun there, and we're a bonded group, and we work well together. And like every other company, once in a while you'll hit a bump, but we all come back to the same page. I think it's because we all have a lot of passion, especially the gals are really strong-willed, strong-minded, really smart women. So yeah, enough about that.
Well,
but I'm
I
just
wanna talk
happy
about-
to be here and happy to be part of 2025. It's going to be a fun year.
It is, and it's already started off with a bang as far as I'm concerned for you, and I think that's awesome. I want to talk about the business because, a lot of people out there, you might be thinking about selling your business or buying a business. This is where you come in. You've been here. You are a pillar in the community and have helped people. A tremendous amount of people do this. I want to talk about that.
Well, yeah, I don't know about a pillar. I haven't earned that status yet. But I have been doing this 27 years. And I originally came when my father owned the company, and he has since not retired. He's still out there. So there's a lot of things going on this year that we're really excited about. Capital gains tax, we expect to go from 20% to 15%. That will really help our sellers. We're hoping that our new president does stick to what he said he was going to do. No tax on tip, that'll help keep restaurateurs going. Gas prices are kind of coming down. I think that in the next 6 months we'll see them come down even more. Tariffs are a concern. I'm not going to go around that. But I think everything will gel down, like I said, 6 months down the road. Let's give him some time to get his arms around everything. he has a lot to deal with. I expect manufacturing to come back. So there is so much going on. There's so many moving parts right now. So, yeah. And I have a list of businesses when we get to that question, Carol, because what people are asking for has actually changed.
Well, I think that's what people have been waiting to wait and see what's gonna happen. And now, okay, we're on February, it's almost over here, which I can't even believe, but time is going so fast. But I think a lot of people have been kind of holding their breath. It's time to start breathing, right?
Yes.
And moving a little bit. So, you've talked a little bit about some of the things here. What types of business are buyers calling for you? You just said you just have 2 right now that you've just, what are they, contracts, right?
Right, well, that was just myself. We have, a couple dozen agents. So what people are asking for right now, and I just got a really nice email right before I came over here from another buyer. So we have really strong buyers. We're talking merger and acquisition stuff, PE groups. They are looking for IT, database companies. Automation is a key word right now. I keep hearing it every week. Supply and distribution. Construction will always be hot here. That will never go away. Service companies are the #1 seller at our company, and that can range from CPA to trucking and delivery services, which trucking and delivery specifically has been requested this last 2 months. So really
I think it's because of all the growth that we're having here. The businesses that are coming in need all of these things, correct?
Yes, and when we get those inquiries, that's when we pick up the phone and call those types of businesses, because we know we have the buyers and we know there's a deal there to be made. It's just a matter of finding who's ready to sell.
Well, I think people, like I said, we're ready, right? If they hear what you've got and that you already have the buyers, it's a win-win, right? Now, their phone number to call, and write this number down, 602-795-2005. The website is WCIBroker.com. Well, I do want people to hear about what they're looking for, because maybe you're listening, maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know that has been thinking, I've been thinking about selling my business. When is the best time, I gotta go off this for a second, for them to call you? Besides now.
The best time to call us is a year before you're ready, and sometimes 2 years.
So when you start working with them, you hold their hand, right? I mean, you're gonna come in there, you're gonna help. That's what you really do the best. It's not just get and merge people together and marry them for a perfect sale. You also help them along the way. Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely, but you have to remember, no one knows your business like you.
Correct.
Like the seller, so I learned from them. So we need to get together, get some synergy going, see if it's the right fit for both of us. I need to learn a lot about your business. There's restaurants, for instance, so there must be 20 different questions that I have on a restaurant if I were to meet with you. So it depends on the industry, on the questions that I would ask, on the valuation that I get to.
What I know about you the most is that what you've said to me every single time practically that you've come on this show is, I love the stories. I love people's stories. The number to call is 602-795-2005. The website is WCI Broker. There's no S, so it's WCIBroker.com. We're going to be back in just a minute. Now, we keep on going live in here, and when you come back, I want you to be right on top of that, on top of this more. That's all. Just move yourself more.
I'll pull it.
So, when you've always said that you love the stories and you love to get to know your clients and their background, right? But by getting them those stories helps you be able to know what they need, maybe some help in, right? To help.
Yes. So many years ago, I came up with a 2-page document on my own of what to do to prepare to sell your business. what do
We're
you
gonna
need?
do that
What do you need to
online.
be doing? I almost brought that with me here today,
What
but
to
yeah,
do?
maybe
Let me write it down
maybe
now.
the next time we meet.
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many things that you need to do as a seller to prepare for a sale. Things maybe you haven't thought about.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So things
They probably
like,
don't know.
key people in place that might leave if you were to sell, problems that might come up. Getting your books in order is number one.
Right. Mhm.
Number one. Getting an accountant, maybe a forensic, if there's been some problems, to go through and make sure that your tax returns pass the sniff test of the bank and the buyer's CPA. So huge. Most deals fall apart during books and records. Once you're under contract, the buyer requests with their accountant, requests a list. It might be 5 things, it might be 250 things, depending on your accountant and your attorney of the buyer. And now you've got this whole list of things to do. Well, if you were prepared for that and you had profit and loss and tax statements and copies of your equipment list and all of those things in order, you just shoot them across the table.
Right, right.
But if you have to create all that, it becomes absolutely overwhelming for a seller.
I'm sure.
And the buyer gets frustrated because he's not getting what he needs. And he's thinking the seller's making stuff up, when in fact the seller's not making stuff up. He's trying to compile things that were never there.
All while running a business still.
All while running a business. So,
I think that's a great topic, okay? And what I think that, and we'll talk about this later, but I think that it would be great for you to be able to explain why it's so important to have someone like you who's coming there to help you with knowing all of these things, number one. And while you can then focus on what you need to do by running that business still and letting you help them know what to do and even give them people if they need. I'm sure you have that.
right.
I'm assuming. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
We do.
I can't- I know
we
you do.
refer good people.
I'm sure. So welcome back, everyone. I've been saying this a lot. I just love when we go live on Facebook during the breaks because I get to learn a little bit more about each one of the guests, and we are live on Facebook during the break, and it's fun to do that. And if you want to, you can also watch us. Just go to Networking Arizona on Facebook and watch us. If you're doing it live, it's really fun. So Susan, a lot of people, they should really know how, you are incredibly passionate, but how much you help them get to the point where they're going to be ready to sell. Because you said that the best time for them to call you is almost a year, even 2 years beforehand. Real quickly, just say, why those things are, and, because of what we said at the break, I'd like for them to hear that, the listeners.
Okay, let me get this a little closer. So there are things that need to be done, obviously, prior to a sale. We will come in and coach you and tell you what you need to gather and discuss different aspects of the business. And we really are a mentor to you, if you will allow us to be. And we need to know we represent sellers, we need to know all of the underlying issues that you see going forward and backwards. We need to know the history of the company. Did you have theft in the company? Is there someone that could be replaced? Could a person already working there step up and run the place with a nice raise, from a new buyer? That's always a good thing. What could a new buyer bring to the table? What are you looking for to replace yourself? People like to be cloned. We can get pretty close.
I want to mention something else that I've heard you say before real quickly too. And I have 2 more, so I want to just mention something.
Sure.
Really interesting that what you have said before is that, and now I lost it. I can't remember what I was going to say, Susan, so.
I do repeat myself a lot.
No. It
Yeah.
had nothing to do with that. It's just that when a person is about to do something like this. Well, the one thing that you said is the most important thing for people to do is to get their books in order, right?
Yes, get your
And
books and records in order.
Really, that, and really, it would be really nice if everybody was like that way from the
Right,
beginning.
right.
And we all know what happens, right?
Yeah.
And you have people that can help as well, right?
We do. Every small business owner has a CPA or an accountant, so
They like to use their own.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If not, we can refer people. I just met one, yesterday I was introduced to one in our building, one floor up, which was pretty cool. So, yeah, you need to have your books and records in order, your P&Ls need to match your tax returns, your balance sheet needs to match the things that we see, Carol, if we only had time. So, those are the businesses that are sophisticated enough that will sell quickly and sell at top price.
And that was what I was gonna say, because one of the things that you have mentioned many times is that you want them to be able to reach their dream by getting them the top dollar.
Yes, we work on commission.
And that's another
So
thing that
we
we
want
should
to
break
put
up.
the highest, best possible price on your business and the real estate.
Yeah, I mean, they work on commission only, so, that's why they've got your best interest at their heart, because obviously, for obvious reasons. A question to ask you, are all businesses priced the same? It can't be.
Not
How
at
is
all.
that possible? Yeah,
Not at all.
right.
So
Even in
there's
the
a
same,
common,
even in the same category?
not necessarily, no. No, so cash flow is king. How much is the owner pulling out through the business to themselves, in the order of net profit, payments in W-2 as far as, being an employee of their own company. And then there's some other perks that the banks and appraisers will accept, not all of them. So I have sat with sellers before who need more money from the company and will show me all of the things they're running through the company, but they're not running it through properly so that an appraiser and a bank can accept the add backs. Those are the things that you need to sit and talk to us about prior to selling so that we can get you top dollar.
At least 1 to 2 years before you're gonna do this. And, a lot of people out there, when you're getting to my age, you start to, you start to think about those golden years, and you've been working all your life, and now you've got this business, and you should sell your business, right? I mean,
You have an asset.
It's an asset.
So all businesses will eventually close the doors and let everybody go, all your good employees, or they will pass it on to heirs, or they will sell. If you're sitting on an asset and you'd rather give your kids $500 or $1 million, put it in the bank, put it in a trust, rather than have them be there running it, that's a real option.
I have a question to ask you. How many, you know statistics real well. How many times do you hear from people, the business owners, that my children don't want to take over the business?
8 out of 10 times.
I knew you were gonna say something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially today. Yes,
Yeah.
women.
And then
mean,
I
you
have
know,
others, and I list the business, and they said, our dad put us in this 45 years ago, we couldn't get out. He said, this is what you're gonna do, so put your boots on and come run this construction company. I have one right now, with a $5 million EBITDA. Buyers, if you're listening, that's for sale for $18 million and includes real estate.
Let me give you her phone number. It's 602-795-2005. The website is WCIBroker.com, and there's no S on that broker, so it's WCIBroker.com. The best time to sell is when?
The best time to sell is when your books are in order, you're still in good health, you know sales are going to be steady or ascending, that's huge, and things are good. So the time to sell is when things are good.
And I'm gonna ask this one. How many people think the opposite. The time to sell is when things, because that's when people, that's when they think that they're gonna wanna sell the business. Oh my God, I'm not doing well, so they're gonna sell
Yeah.
the business. No.
This is tanking, I need help, I can't pay my rent, my manager just walked out, please help me.
No.
Buyers want profitable businesses that they can support their family with.
Sure, why not?
So buyers don't buy problems.
That's why.
So let us help you work through those problems and get it sold for you at the right time.
And the right price.
Yes.
That's another thing.
Yes.
Because when you rush into something, you probably leave off the table, I should say it that way, a lot of money. How many times do you see that happen?
You do.
Mm-hmm.
So if buyers think, and we have to be honest, we have a fiduciary duty to our sellers, but we have to be fair and honest with all parties. And if we know that there is something detrimental coming down the pike, we have to tell the buyer. We're not gonna hide behind the seller. So, it's all about being fair and honest where we are.
Fair and honest, but you can fix things.
Absolutely, everything's fixable. And every deal is doable as long as the buyer and seller are still on the same page and wanna get to a closing, we can get there.
And I believe that once you get involved with it, they definitely want to, and it's a matter of making sure that everything is on the up and up, right, and all things are taken care of. But this is why you want to hire her, because she'll be able to help you in those steps, and they're scary, I'm sure. And what's the best part about once you've sold it, they are so happy. Let's talk about a story really quickly. We'll have a minute or so, but tell them what that feels like.
Yeah, so one of my favorite people, David, I won't mention his last name because he's very private, but he has a very popular multi-million-dollar business now. I sold his first business, and he was really nervous about anyone finding out that it was for sale, so we met in a coffee shop in the back, and he said, please don't even say my name, everybody knows me. And I coached him for a year. I said, you're not ready to sell. Coached him for a year. He wanted to sell at maybe a 200 range. I got him several million 5 years later. So we became very, very good friends. And after the sale, he walked in my office. He has always been a suit and tie guy with his hair slicked back. He walked in, his hair's messed up. He's got khaki shorts on and flip-flops. I didn't even know who he was, and he was so relaxed. And his wife said, thank you so much, Susan.
Aww,
Our life is
nice?
so much better. And now he started something else, and that's a fabulous business. Yeah.
But you see, you change people's lives, and you give them their dream of what you've worked hard for
Yeah.
all of your life. They
I
work
do.
on commission, folks, so they work for you and to make sure that they can get the best top dollar for your business. Again, you could call them direct. Their phone number is 602-795-2005. Go ahead and check them out on their website. It's WCI Broker, no S.com. That's 602-795-2005.